So is there any like positive things that you're seeing for the movement to give us a little bit of hope?
Yeah, absolutely. And the hope that I see and what gets me out of bed in the morning to continue doing my job, because let's be honest, my job and my colleagues, we push it uphill every single day. So there has to be a reason for us to get out of bed or we would
Right.
stop doing it. And there's plenty of that. But everything you mentioned is 100% true. So I'm not going to sugarcoat things and say that everything is going to be fine, because it's not. And we know that. So there's no point, pretending and deceiving ourselves that things are going to be okay. They're not. We'll be okay as humanity. The Earth will be okay. It will adapt. We will all have to adapt, and the adaptations are already happening, whether that's through infrastructure or how we live our daily lives. So things will not be the same. That's just how it's going to be. We're not going
Right.
to at the same in the same way, and I think a lot of people have this misguided notion that when we talk about building a sustainable future, we're trying to get back to like having an agrarian society and living off the grid and all of these pastoral scenes, and that's not the reality either. So where are we going to go? I don't know. It's going to be somewhere between living on a kibbutz and Mad Max. That's kind of where we'll end up in the not too distant future. But to the hopeful
Oh
message,
my God.
it's somewhere in between. I don't know where on that scale, but the hopeful message is that things are changing and that there's still plenty of runway to continue to adapt. I really do not want people to fall into this what we call a doomist mentality, which is sort of like everything is screwed, I might as well give up. And there are a lot of people that would like you
Yeah.
to do that. A lot of the messages we see, particularly on social media, with a lot of these stats and just really terrible stories, funny enough, they're actually coming from organizations like big oil companies and gas companies and mining companies. They're feeding this into social media to basically make us give up. So let's fight back against that. None of that gives
Oh
you a hopeful message,
my
which is what you
God.
asked for. But my thing, and I mentioned this earlier, is that the things I am seeing with the businesses I'm working with day in and day out is they have entered that virtuous cycle and they are getting better. It does take a lot of patience. In the same sense, we need to be patient with places like China. We need to be patient with private sector industry overall, but they are moving in the right direction, which is what gets me out of bed. And I hope that's enough to give people a little glimmer of hope to keep doing all the amazing things that they're doing in their individual lives, whether that's through their consumption or through, I don't know, whatever your passion point is to save the planet. Keep doing that. Don't stop, because that's having a major impact as well. My viewpoint, though, and the reason I work with private sector companies is because I feel A, they got us into the problem, so they should get us out of it. But B, they have access to resources and capital that people just don't have. And as you mentioned earlier, governments really don't care to use. So they're the ones that can
Right.
really get us over the line to building a better future. And I already see them doing that day in and day out. So that's from my little piece of the sustainability universe, the glimmer of hope I hope people will take with them.